Hello, my dear students and my dear friends. And today's special topic is on if conditional clauses. And of course, if conditional clauses, you have four types: zero type, first type, second type, third type. Likewise, you're having four types in that. So, actually, you are talking about possible things as well as imaginary things in this special sentences. Yes, or and of course, if you take this if conditional clauses and zero type, most probably you'll talk only about the possible sentences, situations you are talking about. But other three patterns, most probably it is like imaginary patterns or imaginary sentence types. And that's what we are going to see, my dear students. And zero type, if you stand in the rain, you get wet. So here they say if plus simple present tense plus simple present tense. Okay. And if you take stand, it's simple present, and get is the simple present. And likewise, this is what you call as zero conditional. Most probably only possible items you talk about here in the zero conditional clauses. Whereas if you take the first conditional type, if plus present tense plus future tense. So here, if it rains, we will cancel the trip. So possibilities, here you are talking about suggestions, possibilities, and imaginary situations also you are talking about here. If you study, you will pass the exam. So this is also the imaginary situation. In case if you don't study, you will not pass. That is the point here. And so here, when you take the second conditional clause, you take if plus simple past plus would plus verb. So if I won the lottery, won is a past tense, would is a past tense of will, and travel, would plus travel. And so here, if I won the lottery, I would travel a lot. That is what we are going to write for the second conditional clauses. And for the third conditional clauses, it's entirely different for that. If plus past perfect plus would plus have plus past participle. If you had studied, you would have passed the exam. This is how you have four types of conditional clauses altogether. Now we are going to see one by one. So zero conditional clauses, as we see the structure, if plus present simple plus present simple. Here you talk about fact, scientific fact. Most probably you talk only about reality in the zero conditional clauses. If you freeze water, it turns into ice. If you heat water at 100 degrees, it boils. So only the natural and scientific facts are discussed here in the zero conditional clauses. And if you take the first conditional clauses, you talk only about the things possible in the future or in the present. So here you say if plus simple present plus simple future. If it rains, I will stay at home. If I wake up late, I will miss the bus. And it's sunny, we will go to the park. If Juan leaves, Paula will be sad. If I find your email, I will send you the picture. If you study hard, you will pass your exams. So likewise, if you move on to the second conditional clauses, if plus past simple plus present condition, plus would plus verb. That's what we see. Okay, so here imaginary situations you're dealing more about in the second conditional clauses. So it's possible? No, it's not possible. Only it's possible in the imagination. If I won $1 million, I would buy a car. So it's not possible, and so imaginary situation is referred here. If I were you, I would quit smoking. This is also not possible. If I were the president, I would lower taxes. That is also impossible, and they would stay longer if they had more time. If I won $1 million, I would stop working. If I had more free time, I could travel around the world. So all the cases that you see here, it comes only under imaginary situations. And for the third conditional, it's purely imaginary, but it it is mentioned in the past. For that you are giving some references here. For example, if plus past perfect plus would plus have plus past participle, that is what you are going to write here. So here, if I had got a gold medal, I would have been happy. If I had met Susan last week, I would have given her the book. So if I if I did this, if I had done that, so probably it's the imaginary situation, it's there in the past. So for that you are giving another suggestion. So probably it will come under imaginary situations. In if the weather had been good, we would have gone water skiing. If you had got up earlier, you would have caught the earlier train. So imaginary situations that is in the past is mentioned here in the sentences. So probably we'll move on to the next one. So likewise we are having some example sentences. See, you pick up the verbs here. Baby wakes up if we make too much noise. Wakes, make. So if plus simple present plus simple present, so probably it will come under zero conditional clauses. Okay, if he is available, ask him to call me. If plus simple present plus simple present, so probably zero conditional. If he phones, tell him to in the garden. Wait for me in the garden. If you press the button, the television turns on. Do not wait for me if I am late to presentation. If he gets there before me, ask him to wait. If you don't talk to me, talk to your psychologist. If water reaches 100 degrees, it boils. If you make a cake, you firstly break eggs. If you throw salt to the water, it boils later. If you don't get your key, you stay out. So likewise, you pick up all the verbs, probably it will come under simple present tense. So if plus simple present tense plus simple present tense, most probably it is the possibility that talks about, and the suggestions most probably it will come only under scientific facts and truths, and probably this is the first zero conditional clauses. Okay, and now the second one is first conditional clause. If you work hard, you will win. If plus simple present tense plus future tense. So here, if you listen to me, you will understand. If plus simple present plus simple future. If you lend him, if plus simple present plus he may not give it back. Here they are not using future tense. So we'll move to the next one. If she doesn't leave the house, everything will be bad. If plus simple present plus simple future. Don't go to the school, you will stay at home. So if plus simple present plus simple future. If you do not win scholarship, if plus simple present plus your father will be very sad, simple future. If I have enough strawberries, I will bake a cake. So here if plus simple present plus future tense. And again, if you talk about the next sentence, if it doesn't rain tomorrow, we will go on a picnic. So probably simple present tense, if plus simple present tense plus simple future. If I go out, I can get something with me to eat. If the teachers have time, they should repeat the subjects. So probably some modal verbs they are using here. If my mother helps me, I may finish my homework on time. If I write a lot, I will be able to write quickly. So probably if plus simple present plus future tense, that is what you call for the first conditional clause. So second conditional and third conditional clause, what is the difference you should know, right? So that difference is given here. If she know the answer, she would win the prize. So if plus past, simple past plus would plus verb. So if she knew is the past tense, and would plus win. So it comes under second conditional clause. If he had enough experience for the job, the boss could hire him. So probably here if he had enough experience, so probably it is like had is the past tense, and could plus hire, instead of would plus hire they have used could plus hire, so it comes under second conditional class. If I had your phone number I would call you. Had is the past tense, would plus call, would plus verb, so second conditional class. If you came to the party, came is the past tense, would have a lot of fun, would plus have, it comes into second conditional class. If I were a rich man I would buy a home like palace, so where is the past tense and would plus buy, so second conditional class. Third conditional class, if he had talked to me I would have listened to him. Okay, so that is what you are going to write. And had talked is the past perfect, and would plus have plus listened, this comes in the third conditional class. Had brained, so probably past perfect plus would plus have stayed, so third conditional class. She, if she had saved money she would have bought a bicycle. Had saved plus would plus have plus bought. And if it had been a huge explosion, so many people couldn't have been affected, so here had been, couldn't have been affected, so it comes in the third conditional class. If the student had listened to the teacher carefully he would have answered the questions, so had listened plus would plus have plus answered. So likewise you can go through, my dear students. So this comes under the first one. If you freeze water it turns to ice, if you heat metal it expands, so it comes under zero conditional class. If you press the button the television turns on, if you press the power key a green light appears, if he is available ask him to call me, if you sweat too much you dehydrate, if you don't get your key you stay out. So this is for if I have enough strawberries I will, this comes under first conditional class. If you can leave work earlier shall we meet up, if she does not hurry she will be late, if you lend him some money he may not give it back to you, if he comes take him upstairs, if she doesn't leave the house everything will be bad, if it doesn't rain tomorrow we will go on a picnic, if I go out I can get something with me to eat. So all these things will come under first conditional class. So if I were you I would want to be a doctor, I would want to be a doctor, so here it's a second conditional class. If I know the answer I would tell it to you. If Mary had time she would visit her boy friend, if I understood what the teacher said I could tell you, if she weren't ill she would go to the school, if I were a chairman I would offer new and different ideas, if I were 22 I would travel the world, if I were you I would not do this, if you participated in the election people would choose you. So probably all the sentences that you pick up here it comes under second conditional class. And the final one is the third conditional class. Had found his phone number might have called, so here it's a third conditional class. That is what we are going to study, my dear students. Had driven, if she had driven carefully she wouldn't have had an accident, so third conditional class. If she had gone would have had a lot of fun, if I had waited for you I would have missed the plane, if Mary had had a meeting she would have gone to the office, had and then would have gone, had been and then you have would have got a high score, had the necessary ingredients for a cake we would have made a cake, if I had been a smart boy I would not have annoyed you, if I had found her address I would have sent her for an invitation. Okay, likewise the conditionals patterns are given here. If plus simple present plus simple present, okay, or else if plus past simple past plus simple past, so all these conditions will come under zero type. And first conditional type is you can have if plus simple present plus simple future, or else if plus present perfect plus simple future, So likewise you can write the statements here. If I find her address, I will send. And you will if you have studied, see, that is present perfect, you will pass. That's what the second pattern that I read in the sentence. If it is hot today, we may go swimming. If you see her, don't tell her I was here. If you go to the supermarket, you can buy some bread. So likewise you can try, my dear students. And also here, if plus simple past plus would plus verb, or else you can use modal verbs past tense. Okay, could and might, very often they use that. Instead, if I were you, I wouldn't buy. This is the pattern it's given. If I went to the supermarket, I would get some bread. Could get some bread. Instead of would, they are using could here. And might get also they are using here in the sentence. So probably this is for the second conditional class. Okay. And type 0, the pattern is given if plus simple present plus simple present. Type 1, the pattern is given if plus simple present plus simple future. Type 2, if plus simple past plus conditional, that is would plus verb, you can write. And for the type 3, if plus past perfect plus conditional perfect, that is would have been. Okay, so likewise you can try, my dear students. If I had the money, I would buy a car. I won't answer if she speaks to me. Okay. If they dash hungry, they would understand. If they what answer will be there? If they were not hungry, they would understand. Okay. And the next one, if I liked noise, I would go to function. If she uh, spent had spent the night alone, she would have been frightened. If I succeed in my exam, I can go abroad. Or else you can write I will go abroad. Okay, fine. And the next one, if she was more friendly, uh, she would have more friends. Okay. And if he avoided my sight, i I would cry. Okay, if she had learnt her lesson, she would have passed her exam. Likewise you can try, my dear students. If the weather is good, I will go for a walk. If I were you, I would accept the offer. If I had met my friend, I would have done this. Okay. Next one, if he ran all the way, then he would get there in time. If you complete the course, you will get good certificates. If you practice hard, you will pass the exam. Okay. If I have enough money, I will buy a skateboard. If you help your mother, she will be happy. Okay. If Mamta helps in the kitchen, she will get pocket money. Okay. And if Muthu is at home, he will watch TV. If they have a car, they will drive to Italy. Okay. If if that is word, the next way, the second part they are using if. First one, I travel. I travel to USA if I have enough money. Okay. Then that's it, my dear students. You can try all these sentences. And there are some examples that too I will give you in the next slides. You try that also. We will move on to the next slide now. Thank you, my dear students.